What's up, it's NIKIBRAH. I always get questions like, what's the perfect first cycle? We all know what I'm talking about. The juice, the steroids, so what's the perfect first cycle? Is there like a standard dosage that a first cycle has to be? What are the starting compounds, so how should I approach a first cycle? We'll discuss this, but I will also tell you the two most common and most crucial mistakes that people do when they approach their first cycle, or in general how they approach steroids. Well, me, with my work and my clients, I'm always extremely transparent. So when someone asks, okay, is this guy on juice, then I will never lie and say, oh, this guy's natural, which is absolutely common nowadays in the fitness industry, that people are juiced up to the gills and then they go on Instagram and say, okay, I'm all-time natural. I mean, that's common practice nowadays just for marketing reasons, because people are like, well, this is insane, so he's doing things right, but many times people came to me, athletes, influencers. I constructed them the cycles, and then I watched them go on YouTube and Instagram saying, well, I'm all-time natural. Well, my work is always confidential. I will never release or bust these people because they go and tell lies. This is not my business. It has nothing to do with me. My job is to construct efficient, safe, and very, very effective cycles. So I saw it many times, even from clients that they take and go out on social media and say they're natural. Well, this is a thing of philosophy. To each his own. Everyone is free to do whatever he thinks is right. But with my work, when people ask me, is this guy on steroids, is this guy natural, I always tell the truth, because I remember back in the day when I was 15, 16, I was already pretty much into training, and it was like a jungle. So many not natural people said, oh, I'm natural, and it freaked me out, because it's really hard to take people as a reference, because they are just lying to the community. And I'm a big fan of these, and I'm very glad that I became friends with him, and he was one of the only one back in the day who was pretty open about it. And I think, in my personal opinion, this is the correct approach, just to be honest, because long term, people will see even that that these athletes are just past their prime and they shrink, and it's obvious that okay, 5 years ago, when he was not that popular as nowadays, he looked much better. But how is it possible? Because if he kept training for 5-6 years and there's no progress, well, it's a sign that back in the day, when he used to gain his popularity, that he was on steroids. But okay, long story short, there's just lots of misbehavior, lots of unethical behavior out there in the fitness community, where people just say, okay, I'm vegan, I'm natural, but down the line they are just max juiced up to the gills, so this is like a common approach in the fitness industry, which freaked me out back in the day. Now, to each his own. So that's why it's very hard to take to have a reference and to understand, okay, how and when should I do a cycle? Do I need a cycle? When do I need a cycle? How to do a cycle? So common mistake number one that people are doing, they go to these forums and they look at these copy-pasted plans, how people are doing this, this amount of this compound, this is standard as a first cycle. So it's very, very far from optimal approach. It's very, very far from reality, how it should be. Because how I do this with clients is that I send them out to do blood work, I check certain parameters, and I see what is the best compound for this constellation in his blood at the moment. Because blood work can be very, very different. Situation in the blood can be very, very different. Example, your prolactin can be very, very high, and which means that you're already you have a certain tendency of getting more side effects when choosing one compound that reacts with this prolactin. So for example, when you just copy paste a plan from the internet, which is considered standard, you may receive many short and long-term side effects just because you have not checked your blood work. So your first cycle has, like, the very first cycle is the most important to check things how they are. What are your tendencies in the blood? What are the factors and cofactors that we need to consider? Because then when you know them, then second and third and fourth cycle and so on, this will be easier because you will get to know how you react to stuff. But the initial first cycle, most important to check out blood work and your tendencies. And very rarely people are doing this. Well, first, because they don't know that they should do this, and second of all, even if they do this, they don't know what to measure, and they don't know how to analyze what they have measured. So it's very complicated, and to be very, very safe, you have to do this. Well, my philosophy is I never recommend steroids except for professional athletes or athletes who compete, for example, bodybuilders, because there is no chance that you will win a bodybuilding competition naturally. Even the natural competitions are not as natural as you think, because I had clients that I guided that became champions, you know, in natural competitions where we were on the juice, and I was the responsible one to make them go around these tests, so the tests do not detect the steroids, basically. So this was my job. Ethical, not ethical, I don't care too much, because my job is to just be responsible for the safety and effectiveness. Whatever the guy is doing, whether he competes in a natural competition, not natural competition, this is not my business. My business is to bring him through the cycle as safe and as effective as possible. And if he says, okay, I don't want to be detected, this is my job because this is my expertise. My job is not to judge and to say, well, you're not natural, how can you compete in natural competition? This is not possible, it's not my job. This is my opinion, that this is not my job to be like a judge or ethical component and say, okay, this is what you have to do, this is what you don't have to do. This is not my business, my opinion. Whether you like it or not, to be honest, but it's just my approach. But these clients, I have 2 clients who became natural champions, who are not natural. I do not use them as advertisement for the reasons I just told you, because I don't want to give false promises. I don't want to cheat on anyone and say, well, he won natural competition, he's my champion, but he was on steroids, and then people will think, oh, natural competition? This guy's natural, wow, that's crazy. Because I have to be honest, and if I'm honest and I say, okay, this guy was not natural, obviously he will get banned from the natural community. So I don't even use these champions, I don't use these athletes for advertisement reasons. I don't post their transformation, and I don't even publish them, so no one knows that they actually worked with me, because, well, they will get banned for these reasons from the federations and probably will get stripped of their titles. So, like I said, in my opinion, only professional athletes need to cycle, because if you want to win, you need to do this. There's no other way around. If you're a casual athlete, well, I mean, a casual athlete, he should be natural, because you can look crazy naturally, crazy. And it's not necessary to get crazy striations, like feathering, full 3D effect. It's not necessary for everyday life. You will look sexy, you will look fit, you will have crazy performance naturally. It's possible. So mistake number 2 is that people, they do not do the blood work, and often people have pretty decent testosterone levels, let's say, or even very, very high testosterone levels. But because they're copy-pasting these plans, let's say they ride a low dose of 250 mg per week or every 5 days, what's the standard copy-paste plan, they will just replace their natural state with a chemical synthetic hormone. So they will replace what they have already naturally with a synthetic one, which makes no sense at all. They're just replacing something they already have with something chemical. The chemical will just give you side effects, long-term side effects, that your own factory is going to stop working. So you need to recover from this. So the factory starts to work again after this cycle. So very, very often it happens that people just replace what they have naturally with something synthetic. They don't even double up, let's say, on the first cycle. They just replace what they already have. So this is absolutely stupid. This is money waste, health waste, and long-term side effects are guaranteed, basically, because you're just replacing something and destroying your own production. So this is absolute nonsense. Another reason why blood work is crucial when you want to do a cycle, basically. So I will give you some examples like of natural athletes who never took anything, who never took even stimulants, no clan, no nothing, like no SARMs, no pro hormones, nothing. Let me think of three random guys. Let's just take Cedric from Germany. We started out, he was vegan, vegetarian, very skinny, and he came to me and said, okay, I want to go and I want to be a soldier, special forces. I want to train with them. I want to gain muscle. No problem. You know, down the line, very muscular, high performance, absolutely natural, even tested at the military because they have to do health checkups, and then they obviously test and see, okay, are they above physiological levels? And then, well, if they are, they probably will complain. But so yeah, they are tested even, and yeah, absolutely natural, from vegan, vegetarian to special forces athlete. Let's take another one. Let's take Anders from Norway. Well, he came to me. Yeah, he was fit, no hormonal problem, no vegan, just regular guy, but lacking structure, did not know what to do when training, did not know how to structure the training, did not know how nutrition works, how to eat properly, how to structure the food intake, where are the nutrients, what does he need for testosterone, what does he need to get fit. Well, got him fit in over a year, and also natural results. And people often say, this is not possible naturally, but this is absolutely possible naturally. And trust me, if you put, let's say, Anders to someone who is enhanced and, let's say, bodybuilder, well, he will be very tiny because it's a thing of comparison. But overall, he looks fantastic, just fantastic. When he goes to the beach, all the girls admire him. Tinder exploding, because you don't need to be a bodybuilder. Probably it's more attractive to be just like regular fit guy, good physique, than a bodybuilder. Usually more attractive. Not usually, it is more attractive. Just bodybuilding is like, it's just an extreme style of a sport, you know, it's a freak style of sport, let's say it like this. So let's say third example, third guy who's absolutely natural, never took anything, not even like any stimulants. Let's take Finn Meyer, also from Germany. He's a mountain bike guy, you know. He came because he was chubby, you know, some hormonal problems, you know, probably high female hormones. We did not check the blood, but for me it was obvious what the problems were just by looking at the pictures. Chubby, lots of body fat, low performance, and he just wanted to basically get fit to ride the mountain bike, you know, and that's it. Also absolutely natural progress, no stimulants, no nothing, no SARMs, no pro hormones, nothing, just good training, good structuring, nutrition, good guidance, and that's it. It's not rocket science, basically. It's obviously what's necessary, you know. Yes, no SARMs, no juice, no nothing, but what's necessary? I just gave you these three examples. It's very diligent work, very accurate work, no time wasting, very fast optimizations, listening to my feedback, because my guys get feedback all the time. And the main thing is how fast they can execute and do the feedback I give them. This is the main reason why the people like Finn, Anders, or Cedric make such crazy transformations, and very, very fast as well, because they listen to the feedback and they execute. So these were the two main mistakes people make, is that basically they don't do blood work. So common mistake is that they just replace what they already naturally have. And second mistake is that, they just copy paste plans from the internet and that's it. They don't adjust their cycles to their actual blood work. So this is highly unrecommended, because this runs into side effects and this runs into just wasting your time and health and money, because a cycle is only efficient when it's really, really adjusted to your blood work. In general, my recommendation is, as you have seen, Finn, Anders, Cedric, I can give you hundreds of more examples. It's not necessary to take it. It's really not necessary, because you can look fantastic without. If you're a professional athlete, then there's no other way around. Whether you're a fighter, whether you're a bodybuilder, whether you're a professional athlete in some sports like basketball, soccer. Yes, it's more of a technical sport, but trust me, the pros, they all take it. That's how it is, because there's lots of money in pro sports. Then it's all about the small percentages. And if you want to get the last small percentage, well, if you have perfect technique, nice. There are many people who have perfect technique, but you know, you need this 1% performance to deliver, basically, to run 1 second faster, to jump 10 centimeters higher. You just need it to be a pro, to be the best of the best. But this is professional sports. As a casual lifter, as an average Joe who just, like Finn, wants to improve hormones, lose the body fat, just get shredded, for mountain biking, or like Anders, just to be God on Tinder, or Cedric, to be a professional soldier, then you don't need it at all. Then you just need good structuring, good guidance, and good execution, and listening to the feedback. If you're interested to make same transformation as Finn, Anders, or Cedric, greetings to my 3 brothers. You just message me, as always, on Instagram, for example, at NIKIBRAH, or you visit my page, nikibrah.com. You leave me a message, we get in touch. Maximum 12 hours, I will get back to you. I will check your situation. I will check where you're at, where you want to go, and I will tell you how I will help you. And then we get going right away. I don't like to waste time, so message me today and we get going very, very fast. If you're interested in this topic, you can check my previous videos, because this channel is all about hormones, performance, nutrition, fitness. So make sure to subscribe, and see you in the next videos with very, very interesting topics. See you guys.